Hi everyone, what is up? Welcome back to my channel. For today's video, I'm doing a quick review on the Natasha Denona Love Face Palette. This launched all of a sudden last week. I saw Trend Mood 1 post about it on Instagram, and apparently this released early at Look Fantastic. I don't know if that was supposed to be the case, but it was available to purchase. I decided to purchase it and it shipped to my house, so I think it's fine. I've seen quite a few people get theirs in already, so I thought I would do a review on this today and share my thoughts on this. I haven't really done a lot of reviews in the past month, so I thought it would be nice to sit down and try this out on camera with you guys. It is currently about like 7 p.m. in the evening. I just got home from work, ate my dinner, and my makeup has been on my face since 6 a.m. this morning, so it's not looking the best anymore, but that gives me like the perfect opportunity to like retouch my makeup with this palette. As you can see, I don't really have a lot of blush on anymore. I only applied like a tiny bit of ice to mesmerize this morning, so we can do an eye look as well. So I'm just going to try this out on camera with you guys and share my thoughts. So if you're new here, then hi, welcome to my channel. I'm so glad you found it. I upload beauty videos every single week, and I would love it if you subscribe. But for now, if you want to see my thoughts on the brand new Natasha Denona Love Face Palette, then please keep watching. So I just came a little bit closer to the camera, and I want to start off by showing you guys what the palette itself looks like. It is a type of material that is like super like reflective, and it is like covered in fingerprints already, so that is very annoying if you do like YouTube or Instagram. Like, I always take photos of my makeup, so I always find that a little bit annoying, but if the product itself is fine and I don't care. So I wanted to pick this up because this to me is like the perfect Valentine's Day palette. I always love Valentine's Day themed makeup releases. My next video will be a like Valentine's Day will I buy it video of the releases that we have seen for Valentine's Day so far, but I always love the like pink and mauve tones and everything. So when I saw this, I really didn't even think about it. I was like, I am going to pick that up and review for you guys. Now, this palette is one of her face palettes, and if you're not familiar with them, basically this is what they look like. So they basically come with a cream blush, a cream highlighter, and then 5 different eyeshadows. I think she has released 2 or 3 of these in the past. I'm not entirely sure, but I'm sure she did like 2 variations of the Glam face palette, and I have seen like amazing reviews on that. I'm just going to apply the blush, highlighter, and eyeshadow, and I'm actually going to like tell you a little bit more about the palette and everything when I'm applying the products to my face. So I think without further ado, let's see what this product looks like. So I'm actually going to be starting off by lifting this cap to the top, and it's actually really nice that she like separates the cream products from the powder products. So the brush I'm going to be using is just called Cream Blush, and it looks like a beautiful light pink shade. I did see one person post about that the blush looked a lot lighter on the skin than it does in the pan, and also very cool tone, so I'm very curious to see what that will look like. I of course don't really have a like super deep skin tone, so I think it will be fine, but let's just apply this. I am going to be using my e.l.f. Putty Primer application brush for this, and I'm just basically going to swirl my brush in here. That is definitely very cool toned. It reminds me of a cream version of that super famous Dior blush, but I feel like that's even more pink, and this is even like more cool tone, but I feel like it does look cool on me personally. This already, like once I'm applying it, I start doubting who this is suitable for, because as you can see, it looks quite, I wouldn't say chalky on me, but it looks very like light. I can see sort of like a white pigment in there. Like, I don't know if that like makes sense, but as you can see, it's just like a super light color, sort of like lilac on my face, and I just wonder how like flattering that is going to look on someone with a deeper skin tone to me. So that already is the first thing that I want to address, because as you can tell, the highlighter is actually quite deep, and that makes me think this palette was like made for sort of like a deeper skin tone, but since the blush itself is so light, I wonder if that's really the case. So I'm just going to swatch this on my hand right now to kind of get an idea of what that looks like. And then this is what that looks like swatching. You can definitely see that it is a very light pink. The formula itself feels nice. It blends nice. So the only thing I'm not complaining about for me personally, but the only thing I have like questions about would be the shade for now, because the formula feels nice, doesn't feel sticky, sort of like dries it down. So that's definitely the type of texture that I like. I don't really know about wear time. I cannot test it today because, like I said, it's already like 7 p.m. in the evening. So the highlighter is this one right here, and it is called Dream Glow, and it looks quite deep actually. I was kind of like shocked when I saw this today in person that it looked like super gold. Now swatching it, it definitely does look a lot lighter than it did in the pan, but it's definitely like a gold tone highlighter, which I also think is kind of an interesting choice because this whole palette is themed around like pink and purple, and to me gold doesn't really go with it. It would maybe like be a nice contrast to have a little bit of warmth compared to like the cool tones, but I feel like maybe like a light pink would have been better, but I have no idea. I'm just going to apply a tiny bit of this. I'm just going to be using this brush from Sigma Beauty, just slightly tapping my brush in here and then applying this to the high points of my face. So this is what the highlighter looks like, but I feel like the highlighter I'm actually quite surprised with now that I'm applying it. I would have thought it would be a lot deeper on my skin than it actually is, but I feel like it does look very nice. It's also like very glowy, but it's not like too much accentuating the pigment. I don't know how well I find it to go with the blush itself. I'm not sure if I would really pair this highlighter with this blush in particular because of the shade, but it does look like a nice highlighter and I'm definitely positively surprised by that. It definitely does work. So now I'm just covering that cream base again and I'm going to be using the eyeshadow, but I'm going to start by taking the shade Juliet and applying that in my crease. And like I said, I have a tiny bit of Eyes to Mesmerize in the shade Pillow Talk on, but again, it's been on my face since super early this morning, so it's probably not looking the best anymore, and I feel like I could just like touch it up with some powder eyeshadow. This shade is applying nice as well. It's definitely a light pink. I feel like it goes well with the like blush. It's also more of that like cool tone, so far that is applying nicely. It's also showing up well for being like that light of a shade, so definitely liking that. So I'm going to be using the shade Esme, I think that's what it's called, the like mauve like pink. It's a little bit deeper and I feel like it does look super pretty, so let's just put this on my eye. I haven't been wearing a lot of pink eyeshadow lately, so I feel like this is super nice, or maybe this is like more purpley toned, but I feel like it's nice to have like a nice Valentine's Day palette again. I did used to own the Mini Love palette, but I actually declared it because I didn't find myself ever like reaching for it. I don't know why. I love those tones, but I feel like for how pricey it wasn't really like standing out in my collection, and I wasn't really reaching for it as much as I had hoped. Now, I will say this palette is one pricey palette. It was, I think, like around 65 euros. I don't remember the exact price anymore. I did get 20% discount with like an influencer code, and I believe I ended up paying 48 for this with 20% off. So I'll have to do the maths after this video, or maybe look it up if I can find it somewhere. But this is definitely like a pricier palette, I believe, than the Glam face palettes that she has released earlier. But Natasha Denona is just like good quality. I'm now using the deeper shade, which is called Echo, and just like deepening up the crease just like a tiny bit. So I feel like I don't mind paying a little bit more for her products, since I always feel like they work really well. And again, so far eyeshadows are applying great. I love how they go together. They look pretty and I'm just having an easy time applying them. So I'm just going over that with a blending brush one more time, but I feel like I'm impressed with the eyeshadows. They work really nicely and I just love this color story. I'm now going to be using the shade right here called Affinity, which is the like only shimmer in here, and I'm just going to apply with my finger. It feels very soft and just like tapping it on the lid, and from what I can tell, it definitely looks a bit more like a glittery topper, but it's still giving quite a bit of pigment and it's really beautiful. It has like different color sparkles in here and looks super pretty. So I hope you guys are able to see what this looks like, but this is what the shimmer looks like. I feel like it looks super pretty and I'm just like positively surprised by the eyeshadow. I loved every single shade that I tried. So now that we have used all the shades from this palette that I wanted to use today, it's time to share my thought. And actually, I'm quite positive about this palette. When I was trying the first thing, which was the blush, I didn't expect to actually love this palette. I started like doubting whether I would actually like it, but now that it's on my face with the eyeshadow and everything, I actually really like it. I'm also surprised by the highlighter. It feels like it looks really pretty and not too deep on me, and it's just like really like nice. The blush, definitely a cool toned light purpley pink sort of like shade, so keep that in mind if you are a deeper skin tone than me. Definitely feel like she could have done like a blush that is way more inclusive. I feel like this blush is not really inclusive. Like don't really have an idea what it would look like on someone with a deeper skin tone, but I can only imagine that it maybe wouldn't be like the most flattering shade. So I would love if she maybe like came out with 2 versions of this, or just maybe included a blush that like was suitable for more skin tones, because I can actually wear like a deeper blush. I just use like maybe a lighter hand, or sometimes I just like a deeper blush, but people with deeper skin tones that want to use like a lighter blush is always like much more of a struggle. So that I think would be the only thing I would change about this palette. For me personally, I'm glad that I picked it up. I would say it's worth my money based on how much I use products like this and how much I love Natasha Denona's eyeshadows. I will like try to find information about when this palette is going to be releasing again, because I think Look Fantastic took it off their website, so I'm not really sure if you can get it anywhere currently, but I can assume it will be on sale very soon, since Valentine's Day is coming up in like 15 days from now. So if you did enjoy this video, I would absolutely love it if you gave it a thumbs up. Don't forget to subscribe and turn on the notification bell if you don't want to miss any of my videos. All of these things would help me so much with my channel, and I'd really appreciate it. But with that said, I want to thank you guys all so much for watching. I really hope you have an amazing day, and I really hope to see you in my next video. Bye!